Welcome to another edition of No Covers Live. Your brother No Covers coming to you out of Port City, Wilmington, North Carolina. Second cousin of your mother, third cousin of your father. It's all family in here. All family, all family. Coming to you tonight, making sure I'm on all channels. Somebody give me a text out. We're on the Facebook Live channel. Making sure everything is kosher. And we're also on Blog Talk Radio again tonight. We'll be shooting some Blog Talk Radio, also coming out of a couple of different channels. I see we're on live, and I believe we've got good audio this time. I want to make sure we got good audio. Somebody text me and say we got good audio. Yeah, we got good audio. I want to make sure we got good audio so we get to start. I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble tonight or not. I'm going to tell you that before I get started, Kahan. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I've been wanting this conversation for a minute with you. Again, tonight is a conversation. I said conversation of the boogeyman, but I have to cut that out. I said conversation with Renegade Cherokee. I've been wanting this conversation for some time. And I'm going to be honest with you. I hope you know that you are under the radar. If you don't know, I'm going to tell you. Okay. Because I've got my other phone here. And so over the last 24 hours, and this is no joke, Facebook family, this is how this works. Over the last 24 hours since I announced that I was doing a show with my brother, a show that I've been wanting to do some time. I'm trying to pull it up now. I don't have them in here. I kept them today. I'll show them to you later. I got 3 community standards warnings on my page.
Just that quick. Yeah.
For stuff that I ain't posted in 7 years.
Oh.
I'm like, how you give me? I got two back-to-back community standards warnings. Somebody went in my page and tagged stuff that I had posted and sent it in. Had to send it in. I know how Facebook works.
Right.
From stuff that I had years ago. I mean, stuff I posted almost 11 years ago. They had a community standard. One of them was a red and blue flag united together. One said blood, one carried kills. It was united.
Okay.
They said it was community standards.
Sound unity to me.
I'm talking about, I was back then talking about unity.
Right.
They said it was against community standards, and I'm like, I never get flagged that way.
Right.
But at 24 hours since I put you on, so we're going to have this conversation tonight.
I'm down.
I've been wanting to have it for some time because I feel sometimes you get misrepresented. You get nobody knows who you really are. So I wanted to use my platform with No Covers because we have disagreed in the past.
Indeed.
And we have went back and forth on page. And then the next day, everything good.
Straight up.
So I figured I was in position to have this conversation with you. Absolutely. Because I'm gonna hit you straight, you're gonna hit me straight, and at the end of the day, like we do on Facebook, when you say something that I think is way off left field, I be like, hey, boo, and I inbox you sometimes I do it publicly, and you come back like, okay, you don't agree, you don't disagree, we just leave in peace. And that's how it's always been with us, so I said let's have this conversation.
Yes,
so first I want to start off with, who is Renegade Cherokee? Who exactly is Renegade Cherokee? Because people don't know that.
Okay. Well, Renegade Cherokee was born on the poetic scene back in 1998.
I'm going to get coming.
Yes, sir. So 1998, how I came to be was there was a song on the radio called Splackavelli by a guy named Pressure. I was living in Atlanta, Georgia at the time. So this cat had a song called Splackavelli. It was about a man basically playing the backdoor Jody. If the girl had problems with a man, then he's the guy that'll step in and backdoor the guy. I said, that's messed up, man. How can you say such a thing like that? Man, that's not right. You don't just mess with a man's relationship. They're having problems. How about you talk to them and say, maybe y'all can work it out? How about to stay out of it? But now he's talking about this backdoor Jody and the guy. I said, I can't have that. No way. So I had to come up with a name, right, to match Splackavelli. So I said, should it be Splattervelli? So that don't sound too cool. So I said, wait a minute. How about Capavelli? Because I bust a capping your if I catch you messing with a woman. So that's where the name originated from, Capavelli, because I bust a cap in your.
Okay.
And then Renegade Cherokee because I have Cherokee ancestry. My mother's a Cherokee Indian. I'm very proud of both sides of my family. But I want to latch onto the Cherokee part of me for a long time. When I was a young man growing up in Wilmington, I denied my heritage. My mother told me who I was, but people said, "Are you Indian? Are you Indian?" I said, nah, man, nah. So eventually, at this time, I was almost 30, and I decided all these years of denying that part of myself, I'm not going to deny it anymore. So that's why I put the Cherokee to the forefront. That's a part of my heritage. Renegade, because I renounced Christianity. I turned my back on the Christian faith because the Christian faith did nothing for me.
Okay.
It left me misinformed. It left me ignorant. It left me naive.
So your parents are from Wilmington?
Yes.
Okay. How was that? How was that with them? You breaking away from, because I know we go through that transition. I know I went through,
right? Because
my family was Jehovah's Witness, and when I broke, it causes some family stuff. How did they handle that?
My father didn't handle it well.
Okay. We still don't speak.
Yeah, my father, he passed away 20 years ago this month, June the 1st, 2002. So he's been gone 20 years this month. So when he was alive, and I told him I switched my beliefs, and now I call Yahweh, and I call Jesus Yahweh Shai. The old man had a fit; he couldn't deal with it. Always going back and forth.
Remember that?
Oh yeah. It was rough. It was like
how? Because I know how I was affected. I'm still seeing a psychologist to the day. I still have. That's my father. My father was my walking, my shadow. My father was. I walked in his shoes. And when I told him I no longer wanted to preach the way he wanted me to preach,
right.
And I wanted to go into I started studying Malcolm, studying Elijah Muhammad. I started studying Islam. I started studying Noble Drew. I started studying some of the non-traditional faiths.
Right.
Black Panther, Stokely Carmichael was my man.
Oh, yeah.
H. Rap Brown was my man. And so coming out of high school, when he saw that, he wasn't having nothing to do. So I was like, that tipped me out. I went over to Germany for 2 years and hibernated in the military.
Okay.
So I know how it affected me to the day. How did it make it inform you more? Determined to do what you do?
Oh yeah, I was determined to do what I was doing since the first day I heard the word, and the word went off like a light bulb in my head.
What was that?
Genesis, the 3rd chapter. Excuse me. Genesis, the 4th chapter, where Cain was kicked out of the land of Eden.
It's gonna get hot. I can tell that already.
Yes, sir. So he went to the land of Nod, and it says, the scripture tells us that he knew his wife. So all of a sudden, the Spirit of God Almighty came upon him.
Okay.
Now, wait a minute. How can there only be 4 people on the planet if Cain found a wife in the land of Nod?
Okay.
So after that, I was hooked. I said, yep, this is the truth. I'm in it to win it. I ain't going back to no Christian.
So you got that from the group, but not the book?
I got that from the Most High.
Okay.
Brother showed the scripture.
Okay.
He was a former soldier.
Okay.
I was still in
trying to figure out where he got his wife from. That's always been a puzzle.
Yeah, exactly.
It was only 4 people where your wife come from. Your sisters or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's other people along with Adam and Eve.
Right.
It's different set of people.
Yeah. So we get into that.
So that saved me on that day. I knew that I couldn't go back to how I lived before. I couldn't eat the swine no more. I couldn't hang out on Friday nights no more.
Okay.
I had to, stay inside.
So you went through that transition.
Oh yeah.
So how was that island? Because I call it an island. Those of us that have been through that transitional period live on an island of consciousness.
Yes, sir.
People come and visit the island and they leave the island.
Yeah.
Very few people stay on the island. People bypass the island. Oh, the island looks good. The people up there, they like clean, healthy, they look good. But that ain't where I want to live. I want to go back live with the other folks.
Right.
How you handle that? Because I can tell you how I handle it. But how do you handle it? Because I know it might be difficult.
It was difficult. I was pretty much all by myself After I got out the military, I came back home. Told my parents, this is the walk I'm on. This is the path I'm on.
Okay.
Everybody I knew from back in the day, I tried to share this knowledge with them. But a lot of brothers and sisters couldn't really get with it. They were still stuck on Christianity. So it was frustrating. But in my heart, I said, I know I can't go back. I said, whatever it takes, however long it takes, this is the walk I'm going to stay on.
Okay. I had you made me do some research today because I had to research the Israelites for a minute. But before I get into that, because I want to get into that, some of that. But before I get into that, I want to start with your poetry.
Okay.
Because you are known to disrupt events.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna be straight up with you.
Right.
You have been known to just go ballistic to the point that I don't know if you remember. They used to put you and me in the same box at the poetry jam. They used to put you in front or me behind you. Yeah, it's strategic. And I got to a certain point, I said, I ain't coming behind him no more. Because by the time you finish, I had to go take a Band-Aid. And
yeah, right.
by the time you finish with them, I'm coming behind you and they in shell shock.
True.
So I'm missing, it's taking like one poem, I'm halfway through. They still ain't heard me yet because they still,
right.
they sitting there frozen.
Right.
So I told Sandra, I said, if you gonna put me on behind them, you gotta put me on it all. So I got to stop coming sometime. Because I'm like, they always put me behind Cherokee. I ain't coming behind Cherokee. So where does that come from, man? Because I mean, we're working on your book right now.
Yes, sir.
But I'm reading it.
Right.
And I'm saying you dedicated this to the sisters.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there saying, woo, woo, woo. Shiraza ain't got nothing on what you thinking. So where does that fire come from? I'm just trying to figure.
Fire comes from seeing the sisters in the community falling so low from how great they used to be. I'm a child of the 70s. I remember the Black and Proud, Black and Beautiful T-shirts. I remember my mama had a dashiki. Just like, back in the 70s, mama had a dashiki. And it was like a sense of pride in our community. Every block, there was two-parent households. It was like, you wouldn't even say two-parent households back then. It was just established that these children have a father and mother. You know what I'm saying? So everything was run in order. My father worked at the post office. And every day at 4 o'clock, he had a hot meal waiting for him. Mother kept me and my brother, and then he'd get home from work, ready to eat, 4 o'clock. House was kept neat and clean. My mom was a great mother. And the fire is seeing how far the sisters have fallen from that. It's like they're in competition with us. Mainly with the so-called black man. It's like they want to fight us. They want to compete with us. They attack us. They take the word of the so-called white man over our word. It's like they gravitate towards him instead of gravitating towards us. So that fire is my hatred and anger against that attitude that's on our sisters.
But you do understand where that attitude comes from.
It's just seeing it.
Well, it makes you angry.
Yeah.
But a lot of times some people have that, but does he understand where that comes from?
Well, it's a lot of factors.
Right.
Willie Lynch.
Right.
First and foremost. Also in the mid-'60s, late 60s, the great society programs of President Johnson, no man rule and stuff like that.
No child. I was hoping you go there.
Yeah.
No child, no man in the house. Probably the no man in the house rule.
Yep.
The no man in the house rule. So you had a systematic shift that we're going to help you, but if you want to be helped, you're going to have to castrate your man.
That's right.
In so many words. Not knowing that we went into a system that castrated black men, and many of them ended up in prisons on drugs, robbing in jail because they couldn't find a way with that two-parent anymore, because now everything's in charge with the female, and because of that, now we got this rule. And a lot of folks don't know that was a rule in the African American community.
Sure.
So a lot of times the sisters, not in their defense, but in their defense, sometimes they don't know how they became or how they are acting opposite of what mother and grandmama used to be, because they're in that system. Man was in charge, or male was in the head of the house if they had one. Shotgun weddings was still around if you got a girl pregnant. So you had that family structure there that she ran the house. I'm pretty sure dad came home from the post office, mom paid all the bills. Usually took care of everything financially. Or took care, most houses, the mothers took care of the financial, not paid them out hers, but managed everything. They would have managed the custodian. I know my mother basically managed the custodian of what transpired, because she's at home all day long.
Right.
So if somebody's calling, she's getting the phone call. He at work. We ain't got cell phones like we used to.
Got that right.
So if the bill got behind or something had to be negotiated, he can't negotiate that during the week. If it's 8 to 5, he at work. So if a bill collector calling or somebody's calling, she had to manage all that and put all that in order, because she's answering the phone. Yep. He's at work, and when she came home at dinner, or sometimes not around the children, in their private chambers of their room, she explained, okay, here's what happened today, child. We got to take care of this, but this is coming up. Boom, boom. So it was a dual system. Right. A lot of folks think that we talk about those days, it was just women was in the kitchen cleaning. No.
That's right.
She was the manager. She was the storekeeper. She was the head, quote unquote, of the house. That's right. Outside of his authority. So yeah, a lot of times we keep that, we don't understand that systematic pressure came. So then your poetry came out of Atlanta?
Yeah, 1998.
How you start that?
I went to a club called Jaguars on West Peachtree Street. There was a brother named Rockhead. He was the host of the show. So I got on stage. At the time, there was only 6 people in the crowd. I was nervous as hell. I was like shaking, quaking. I was just like, there's a ball of nerves up there, right? So I started reciting the poem. Once I started reciting it, started getting more comfortable. And after that, I was never like.
So I noticed your flow is I noticed your poetry flow. I'm reading. You have your own stanza. You create your own stanza based on what you want. It's like you have a no rhyme stanza. Yeah. Very seldom do you rhyme.
This is true.
Yeah. You very seldom just go freelance.
Right.
That's that you created that style of.
Yeah, it was this conversational style, because I really couldn't. I really wasn't caring about whether words rhymed or not. I was just concerned that the words had impact and people was going to understand and hear and feel what I was putting down. You know, so I didn't try to rhyme it. I just wanted you to hear the message.
Okay.
Like a storyteller, you know, like
right. Like a griot in Africa.
Exactly.
They had to go storyteller, very seldom is rhyming. He's telling the story, and those words. I noticed your stanzas, your words is. I'm reading it now. I'm like, okay, he put that word here and that word here. Okay, he's trying to make a point on that particular theme, not that particular rhyme set.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got that. So when the last time you spoke?
Oh,
when the last time you ran people out of?
Let's see. That's a good question. Matter of fact, I kind of got like a warning. I was at a Speak Your Peace event. You know what I'm saying? Rob Lynn put on a hell of a show. Okay. And I read a
shout out to Speak Your Peace.
Most definitely. So the poem I recited, matter of fact, I think it was in November, right? It had to be, because it was Native American History Month. Okay. So I said I gotta do something for my people. So I recited a poem called Massacre at Plymouth Rock.
Okay. That sounds pretty reasonable.
Yeah, absolutely. That's, what happened to our people. So the poem is like, what would have happened if history went this way? If the Wampanoag and the Pequots would realize these bastards were coming over here to rob them, subject them, smallpox blanket them to death, the reaction to seeing them pale faces would have been very, very different. So in the poem, there was some serious bloodshed going on in the poem. You know what I'm saying? So it was pretty graphic, I'll admit it. So some of the crowd, I don't think they was too keen on that. But I really didn't care, because look, my people been on concentration camps since the early 1800s. You go to Pine Ridge, South Dakota right now, 50% alcoholism rate, 50% unemployment, a high suicide rate. All that came from the invasion of the European into their lands. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, of course I'm angry about that. I'm always going to be angry about that. Okay. I'm never going to forgive that. And I'm never going to forget that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just a violent, wicked thing for people to come destitute, poor, and my people help them, lift them up, teach them how to cook, to hunt, take care of themselves, and the thanks they get is being murdered in the 1637, the real Thanksgiving, murdered to the tune of 700 dead Pequot men, women, and children.
So when you get, how do you answer the person who says, because I get this all the time, y'all just need to, this ain't us. We didn't do that. These children, we trying to get along with y'all. We trying to integrate with y'all. You yelling at me, but them my granddaddies should be talking to. They dead. How do you handle that reply? Because I know what they saying. They saying he yelling at us, but we ain't do it. Okay. What's your reply on that?
Okay, they didn't do it. Okay, that's a fair statement. But how about you just give me back my people's land? That's the fair thing, because you still reaping the benefits of the theft of your great grandparents. You still reaping the benefits. You reap the benefits of the theft.
Are they gonna give up the benefits?
They won't, but exactly. Are they gonna give up the benefits? And of course, the answer is no, because they're living high on the hog, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna give it up. They talk that stuff about, well, we didn't do it. Well, damn, you sure is relying on it. You enjoying the benefits of it. You know what I'm saying? How about a little like stay the hell out of our affairs? Let us do our own thing. Leave us the hell alone, and we'll be okay.
So you feel sometimes you get treated, and I do sometimes. You feel like, it's Rebel Souls talking, because we both Rebel Souls. We on the same track. We just like a little different on something. But we still both Rebel Souls. You ever get the feeling like, you know what? I call it the Malcolm Martin syndrome. When Martin was out there singing and doing what they was doing, you had Malcolm and the boys like Stokey and the rest of them want to go fire it up. You had my man, Brother Williams.
Yes, Lord.
Robert Williams. Yes, Negroes with Guns. One of my favorite books. You turned me on to that one. Yes, you turned me on to Robert Williams years ago. Yes, Negroes with Guns. Most people don't know Robert Williams was with King. Robert Williams was doing security for King. I think they was out there marching and swinging with no security. Robert was pulling them night. They was the ones in the woods while they was going up the roads in case, make sure them jokers don't shoot them, because they had guns with them. Right. But like a Robert Williams, like a them. Do you feel like I get this sometimes? It's folks to say, okay, I hear that, and then take what you do, and then go behind like Nicodemus in the night. Yeah, you got him, but we the peaceful ones, and use that as, all right now, you want him? Come on this way. Leave him alone. But then don't come back and reap the benefits for those who, like those that threw the Molotov cocktail bomb and allowed, it was those, Minister always told us, he said, those riots in the 60s, it was people that went out on the streets, that set Watts on fire, that made it so black anchors could get on the TV show. Because they had to send black anchors into the station, because they couldn't go down there and handle that.
True.
So they forget how she got on TV, because they were black anchors that allowed you to get on the anchor, because they couldn't go in those hoods and do that. Right. How do we balance that? How do we keep doing what we're doing, or keep doing what you're doing, and feel comfortable doing what you're doing without always being the black sheep of the family?
Well, Dawood, it's like the bulk of our people are sheep. They're scared. They don't have no courage. They don't have no heart. So if I got to do the spirit most high, what I got to do, keep being in the forefront, keep using this voice I've been blessed with to spread this message of uplifting ourselves, being self-reliant. I just got to be by myself to do it. I know there are people out there that have odds with what I'm saying, but the only way I can do it is this way. I can't dumb it down. I can't lessen the effect of the words I've been blessed with. I got to go full bore, both barrels blazing. That's the only way for me. And basically, folks either need to join this cause, this righteous cause, or get out of my way and leave me alone. The only way I can go is
I can live with that.
That's the only way.
I can live with that. I mean, we left with it.
Yeah.
Like when I got to leave you alone, I leave you alone. That's what you.
Yep.
No, but I believe folks think so folks will say ain't no compromise in Cherokee. I say beg the difference. Because I remember you wasn't gonna be about no voting to nobody.
This is true.
You was adamant.
I was.
I ain't voting. I ain't voting. The heck with this system and vote. And we battled back and forth.
Indeed.
And I never forget the day that you called me on the phone and you said, brother, I'm going to register. And I told you, I said, if you ever do that, I'm going to be there with you. And I went down there that day and took that picture with you registering to vote. So I believe that there is some leeway with you. You just haven't found a vacuum that someone would allow you. That's what I wanted to show. You haven't found a vacuum someone would allow you to do it another way, where you can come and say the same things and do it another way. I think sometimes we just don't have that vacuum in front of us. So we stuck up doing what we do. I go off sometimes, people are like, oh, God, we should have said. When that spirit hit, I don't think people understand when the spirit hit, it's gone. It don't. I can try to do a talk show. And I got something on my mind. I start off in a very monotone. I try to be monotone, and I'm trying to get it across. I'm trying not to look at my script, but sometimes I have notes printed, and I'm trying to get this thing across. And then all of a sudden, like 15 minutes in, I'll say something, and the negative reply comes back to me without even looking at Facebook. I know what the person said back, and I'm gone. I'm gone on that next hype. And you ain't gonna get no word in for about 30, 40 minutes after I'm gone. I'm gone to that hill, because then the passion's coming up from the lung. It's like, no, I was trying to be nice to your ass.
Now you want to.
But now you want to come back with that reply. And then don't even be them replying. I just know what they saying on the outside. And then that thing sets you off to another level. How long you been in Israelite?
Since 1992.
92. Yep. What caused that? The same scripture?
Well, actually, my brother, he was talking to me about, come by, check this out, man. I got this tape, his brother's teaching. You're going to love it, man. He's going off on, so-called white man. This really hardcore, right? I said, all right, man, come check it out. So at the time, I was on extra duty restriction. I got into a little alcohol trouble. You know what I'm saying? So I was on 45 days extra duty, 45 days restriction. So I really couldn't break out like I wanted to. So once I finally got off restriction, extra duty, went to the brother's house. He showed me a tape of his brother's teaching on the street. I was hopeless. Oh, man, let's check these brothers out. They're reading the Bible. They're coming real forceful. They're coming like men supposed to come. A lot like the Christian preachers I grew up listening to. Pass the pot, brother, pot, and all like that. Yeah. These brothers was really dropping the word hardcore. I said, okay, wow. So really, that was a good effect on me to see. I never saw nothing like that before. So this was an impressive sight for me to see these brothers teaching the word, reading the word, and taking no prisoners,
Oh yeah, they'll pick up. Exactly. They know their book.
Most definitely.
They like Jehovah's Witnesses with the Bible. They know it inside out.
Yes, indeed.
I've studied up some of them and been to some of the meetings. Very impressed with the knowledge of the word.
Oh yeah.
And very impressed with, what is it? Deuteronomy, what chapter?
28th chapter.
Last week I started reading it for the first time.
Check that out.
I've heard about it, but I took a look at it myself, and I went through the whole chapter, and I've read it now probably about 5 times in the last 2 weeks, because I just had an inch up. I'm doing some research on Israelites, and it was like everybody has that one passage in common, even though y'all got splits here, splits there.
Right.
There are different splits, but everybody agrees to that one passage.
Most definitely.
28, and I started picking it up and read Deuteronomy. I encourage anybody to read that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because as people know my talk shows, I've always am a new Old Testament guy, and I stay in the comparable of us and the children of Israel. Most of my shows, some of my Sunday sermons, Sunday messages. I gotta stop saying sermon.
Right.
I gotta call it message. I don't want people to think I'm preaching on Sunday, but I got people telling me, "You should be a preacher and you should preach." I'm like, no, I call them Sunday messages. I'm just giving a message on Sunday. But when I get that message on Sunday, I'm always using parables from the Old Testament, especially the children of Israel, because I see so much comparison in there. And that was the first time I had never heard the ship passage before.
Check that out.
Happened.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think most black people understand that passage.
They really don't.
I knew about the command we were going to be placed in a land not our own for 400 years, and then I will come. I knew that verse or that blessing.
Right.
But the ships, the actual, I missed that one.
Right.
And I'm a student of the book, and I missed that passage about the ships being put on and taken back to Egypt on ships, and this American Day society, Mount Egypt, right here. And it says no. It's funny, you know. Notice more people call America sheep. America is considered a female.
That's true.
It's always sheep.
Exactly.
The beast. It's always, and even their own people say sheep. Even their own religious folks, you say they talk about America as sheep.
Exactly.
Babylon herd. They know in scripture who they are.
Exactly.
They just keep it hidden, but they know in scripture. It's always sheep. Always. If you get any good Christian, white Christian, Joel Osteen, he'll say sheep. Catch him every once in a while on the slip. They know sheep.
Oh yeah.
They know who she is.
That's right. The horse sit up on me.
And they know that one has to fall. That's the last one. They know Daniel's vision. And that stone has to be crushed and fall. So then a lot of times you get into the argument, okay, so now if it falls, what happened to us? Okay. Because we so scattered. Why are we so, and I understand it. I kind of, y'all got me going with y'all really get me on the doggone thing with the punishment.
Right.
Yeah, y'all got to get me on the punishment thing. Or where people don't know what we're talking about. Explain that. Explain why we're being, what we do it wrong. Explain that, because people might not know what they're talking about. What are y'all teaching that we did?
So basically, brothers and sisters in the audience, Deuteronomy 20th chapter is 68 verses. Verses 1 through 15 basically says, 1 through 14 says, if you do my law, statutes, commandments, that's the Most High talking, obey me, listen to me, all these good things going to happen to you. These are the blessings. So it's 14 blessings. 15th verse to the 68th verse says, but if you don't obey me, these are the curses. There's a lot of them. There's a lot more curses than there's blessings. That's why it's better to do the right thing instead of wanting to do your own thing.
I read that.
Yeah.
I was like, it was a lot of them in there.
Oh, yeah.
So some groups, I say some of them, I don't know if all do, but I get to take that some feel that our being captive, taken into captive, was because we disobeyed.
It is. That's the
reason. And that we were brought here and brought to this country and put in this condition because we disobeyed. And unless we'll stay in this condition, unless we turn back to do what we should be doing, back into our natural self, or who we naturally are.
Exactly. That's true.
Okay.
See, it's a lot of division amongst our people. So it's too much division. It's too much backbiting. It's too much murmuring. You know, division happens in every group of our people. It seems like there's division in Black Muslims, there's divisions in Israelites, there's divisions in Christianity and other groups of religious organizations where our people are at the forefront. You know, so it's like division after division after division. In the religious order, then you got the religions in the political order. Yes. Exactly. You know, we sold to one party politically, and scared is definitely the other one. Somebody like, oh, that's the real boogeyman. And we get caught playing the fiddle. I've always said 33, 33, 33. Or 33, 33, 34. Put 33% in the Democratic Party, 33% in the Republican Party, and 34% independent. Then we control the table anywhere we go. But we don't know how to play that game the way you know how to play the game. Do you know most Democrats in New Hanover County are Republicans? Most white Democrats, a majority, not most, a majority, I'm going to say this for the audience so you'll know, the majority of white Democrats register as Democrats so they can control the primary. They Republicans by heart. You know how I know? How you think New Hanover County voted Barack Obama, but kept a Republican school party? They kept a Republican school board because when they went home and voted to their concerns, they vote Republican. Sure. Democrats, white Democrats are split. And when you have some Democrats that are Republicans undercover. Right. Just like Malcolm used to call the Dixie Cats. He used to call the Dixie Cats. Under the cover of darkness, they will vote Republican when it concerns them. So when it concerns neighborhood schools, they're going to vote for their best interests. Right. When it concerns guns, all Democrats ain't going to vote for to pull them guns down because a lot of them Democrats got guns too.
So they vote their interest, but they stay in registered Republican. So that's the vision that we have amongst us. You've been very, like I said, very outspoken. Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years in this city and in the community? What's your goal? What do you want? I know you have several books out.
Yes, yeah. 4 books of poetry out. You have them with the 5th one.
Okay.
I definitely want to write more books. There's tons of poetry that the Almighty has blessed me with. It's like handwritten, and I still got to type those into book form. So there's always ideas that it's like I call it spiritual electricity. It's like the Almighty sends a thought and just pop. The whole body just wakes up. It's like alive and awake and aware. Oh, man, that's a great idea. Thank you, Father.
The thing I like about writing anyway, writing poetry, especially writing anything, but especially with poetry, is so when a person hears your delivery, I can bear witness. I've looked at it. So I'm reading your latest thing now. I'm watching, okay, now I know how you're going to deliver this, but I'm reading it. Reading it, I don't have the delivery there.
Right.
So reading it, I'm able to say, that hurt.
Right.
But, because I'm reading it, I'm feeling for the sister who reading it.
Yeah, right.
So I'm taking that bullet forward.
Right.
I'm reading all that hurt. But, when I look at it and read it in depth, the reality of it is I can't say he lied. Because if that's how we behaving. So what a sister would say is, where the man at?
Man.
Why we ain't beating up on him?
Why ain't beating up on him? Well, that's like a clever way for them to shift.
I was talking for them.
Oh, yeah.
I just asked the question for them.
Yes,
because it's in my ear.
Okay, I got you. So where the man at? So
where's whooping at?
Where's whooping at? I tell you what, when the Spirit moved me to start whipping off on the man, on certain his idiosyncrasies, then I'll get on the man.
You know I got to go here now. How much time we got? It looks like it might take a minute. I got to go here. If I don't ask this question, how many people online? Or they still waiting online? They waiting for me to ask this one. I know. What is it with you and the LBGT, whatever? I don't know. I don't like to tell you that. What is it with you and the other community?
Okay.
Because you like public enemy number one.
Yeah, this is true.
Why do you insist on wearing that crucifix?
Because that community, let's just call them sodomites, because the Bible calls them sodomites.
Okay.
So you would say sodomites. And for a woman, a sodomite. So these people, first, I'll preface by saying this. There's some men and women who are sodomites and lesbians because that lifestyle was forced on them. They were raped, they were molested. And it became that because it was forced on them. They didn't have the strength to fight back. Like Donnie McClurkin, he was unfortunately molested as a child. And he was a homosexual until God delivered him from
most people ain't talking to you would not even think you would say. They would say he don't know that.
They would, because they don't know me. They just think I'm just some maniac who want to go out with my machete and start cutting homosexuals' heads off. That is not true. Because I know that some people that lifestyle was forced on. How can I, a victim, this man, this woman was victimized by some sick, perverted individual. How can I trouble them and torment them? And what they really need is help. So for those that have been so cruelly abused, I just encourage them to seek out a healing, seek out therapy, to get the help that you need so that you can become a whole person. You were just an innocent victim who had no power to defend yourself. It was not your fault that you were so cruelly abused. My heart goes out to you, and I pray that God Almighty delivers you from this curse of a lifestyle. And that's my sincere, heartfelt entreaty for those who've been treated that way, because it would be wrong to dog somebody out who that's happened to.
That's so for someone who chooses.
Then I have a problem with them.
Okay.
Because you choose sin. You choose anti-life. The gay lifestyle means that if if it was prevalent, so prevalent that it took over the whole planet, in 100 years there'd be no human beings left. We'd all be dead because everybody's packing fudge and doing some other nasty stuff. See?
So one would ask the question. I'm gonna ask you a question that I get them all the time.
Okay.
Are you equally as vengeful when it comes to every other sin? Because are we grading sins? What is the? Because I've always asked people this: what is the grade of sin? If I'm here, if I'm in this state of sin, what is the grade of sin? What's the level of a lie? People, I was talking to my wife outside. She said, I try not to lie, and the reason why I lie because my dad used to tell me he would beat me, and then he would beat me for the lie. But then he would tell me why he beat me for the lie. Mm-hmm. He said, the day you lied to me, you made me your master. Mm. You made yourself a slave to that lie because you had to tell another lie. You should not be only a slave to God. That's right. So I'm at I can't lie because he already know anyway. Mm-hmm. If he's all wise, he is all wise and all powerful, all being. So what level do I say? And here's how I reason. I could go attack over here, but am I going to attack here, here, here? All sins across the board, and weigh them out all equally.
That's a great question. That's a great point. Reason why, okay, you got adultery. That's wrong. You got stealing. That's wrong. Bearing false witness.
Wrong.
Let's see.
Fornication with adultery. Exactly. Adultery is male. Adultery is the married one. Fornication is without being married.
Exactly. Yeah. So all these things are sins. Exactly. So adultery is punishable by death. I don't know what the punishment is for stealing, but actually, the punishment for stealing is you got to pay back double what you stole. Yeah. So there's a judgment for that. Bearing false witness, he ain't supposed to do it. He said, "Thou shalt not," so just don't do it. Because also Scripture Bible says you do something presumptuous, meaning doing it willingly. You know it's wrong, you don't care. And there's a punishment for that. It's called death as well. But homosexuality is also punishable by death. So it's a very severe penalty for being a homosexual, just like it's a very severe penalty for adultery. It's death, according to the Scriptures. The lifestyle of homosexuality is a lifestyle of anti-life. Because life can't come from two men being together, two women being together. Life can't come from a man who wants to castrate himself, trying to make himself a woman. And life can't come from a woman trying to magically grow a penis. It's not. Life cannot come from that. So it's anti-life. And I don't like it because what it does, it affects children. They have drag queen story hour. Drag queens reading to the children, preschool books, preschool age children. So these children are confused. It's like, mommy, is that a guy or is that a woman? I don't know. So our children are being forced to see this stuff. So these people are so evil, they're trying to enlist the children, indoctrinate them, make them think that it's an okay lifestyle when it's not. The Almighty destroyed the whole 5 cities of Sodomites in Sodom and Gomorrah. They were so nasty, they wanted to rape the angels. They wouldn't even take, when Lot said, here are my 2 daughters, never known man. Take them, but don't do so wicked a thing. He's willing to give his daughters to these guys so they wouldn't commit the sin of buggery.
So do you ever take the position to say, I was thinking about this today. Do you ever take the position of Lot?
Take the position of Lot?
Yeah.
And giving his daughters away?
No. Do you ever take the position of Lot? So in that environment, and I don't know this of scripture, but I would assume in that environment, Lot was doing his thing and leaving everybody else alone. Because see, Lot had a choice. Abram, when they went, Lot decided to go to Sodom. That's true. Abraham then went the other way. That's right. They like, I ain't dealing with them folks over there. Mm-hmm. So since Lot was over there, till he found a way out, when they gave him a way out, he just like chilled. Did you ever see yourself taking that chill position? Like, okay, you know what? Hey, I'm just gonna get out of here.
Okay.
Because so I'm of the preference of I found a lifestyle that suits me, and it's not in this world, not of this country. I am working within this environment to get to where I want to go for a lifestyle that suits me for what I want to do. What I always say, this is what I always used to tell my mother and father. And I'm pretty sure y'all can give me some examples of that y'all may be doing this. If I'm so uncomfortable with this that I see, why don't I build what I want? I could never understand them having that much of organization skills as Jehovah's Witnesses and you waiting on a mystery, something to explode to get rid of all this when you got enough resources, just build what you want. And stay in your enclave. I'm gonna leave that enclave over there alone. Do you ever do? I mean, cause you be hungry hard. True. But it seems like that show, and I can't take a man from his mission. It seems like that's kind of like your mission.
Right.
I just don't want to take away from the totality of who you are as an individual, because there's so much. I don't know if people know you was the only licensed gunsmith as African American in the state of North Carolina. The only one. I don't know if people know that you were the only licensed gun dealer. At one time, you were the only licensed gunsmith. Not a gunsmith.
I was gun dealer. Not
gun.
I didn't work on.
Gun dealer. Yeah. In the state, but you got to go through.
Yeah, it was some paperwork now.
You go have to. I tried. Believe me. They still looking at me funny. You have to go through my name. Stop me from getting one. Oh yes. You have to go through. But the mama say hell and high waters to get a gun dealer's license to sell guns. You had the only one.
True.
You worked for the city of Wilmington for about what?
Almost 10 years.
10 years. Yeah. You worked for the city of Wilmington for 10 years. Yeah. Always been in the community, always behind every community event. Always, if there's something going on black, you there. Family, children embedded in the community. Always had an intact structure. Never no red flag anywhere. Do you feel that takes away by staying on that banner or that letting them put you wearing that cross? Because there's a lot of people that feel like you, but they ain't gonna say that. They'll let you take the brunt of the weight, right? And it's like you the middle finger to the homosexual. Let him take the brunt. We're gonna sit in the corner and just let him be the one. But it takes away from the total person who you really are. Because there's so much more to Kahan, there's so much more to Renegade Cherokee that I don't think people get to see, because that's the first thing they say. That's the first thing we hear. That's the first thing. Oh, and that's why you see me sometimes coming behind you on Facebook. Yeah. Like, Kahan? Yeah. Oh man. Because they call me the keyboard killer. But I be coming behind trying to text and say, let me get my brother right quick off this cross right quick. Because about 5 book sales right now. True. Yeah. I'm always looking for the audience that gonna buy my books. I'm always looking for that audience that might want to read about that, but don't want to. They got a son or daughter that they don't want to offend, or they got a cousin that they don't want to offend. So I don't bother them. That's it. But then I'm losing friends on the other end. When for me, it's a lot of things I don't like about America. Right. And most people don't know I'm not planning on staying here past 62. Because I don't. It's a lot. It's a lot of things. You're like, if you don't like it, get out. Yes, I don't plan on staying because it's not. And it's just not. Not that America's not a great country. America has given me some of the freedoms that no other country has given me. I have the freedom to be a Muslim. I have the freedom to be on this radio talking to you right now. True. And some places, well, we ain't gonna go. They're gonna shut us off. True. So I have those freedoms here. So I don't want people to think, well, just hate. No, there's some things in it that I don't like. There's some ways in it that I don't like, and the mistreatment of my people I can't stand. Exactly. So I've been visiting other countries, and I've been able to feel comfortable there, and I know that's where I want to live the rest of my life. Right. I went to the Gambia when I fell in love with that, and you won't. Gambia has a very strict very strict on lifestyle.
Okay.
Yeah, they're very strict on how you may have it may be there, but you won't see it.
Right.
Because it's a predominantly Islamic country.
Right.
And in those Islamic countries, there's that. Speaking of which, since we talk about that country, what happened to Ben? We'll get back on that in a minute. What happened to Ben Israel?
In Israel.
I was reading up on Ben Israel.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Ben.
Oh,
in Ethiopia, Ethiopian Hebrews.
He passed away.
Okay, what happened to that movement?
Well, those brothers still over there in the moment. They're still in Israel.
Because they said they're in Damon, Israel.
Yeah, Damon, Israel.
How are y'all connected? How are the? I would say that's the thing. How are the Israelites here connected to the Israelite communities there?
We have some brothers from other schools that have a working relationship with the camp with the nation in the moment.
Okay.
So we brothers go over there. They live for a little while with brothers, go around the country and whatnot. So there's like a working relationship between some brothers and the brothers in the moment. It's like there's like a link.
Okay. I was wondering why wouldn't that be like? So when I went to Mecca, went to Africa, I said to myself, why are we always trying to go to Mecca? We should be trying to get to Africa. Mm-hmm. And I thought about that with the people. Why wouldn't y'all be trying to go to Damon?
A lot, believe it or not, a lot more brothers are going over there to live. There are a lot of brothers that are leaving here.
Okay. Because they're tired of this.
Yes, they're tired of this.
That's what. Yeah.
So a lot of brothers are going over to Israel, doing what they have to do to become citizens. But from what I understand, in some cases, I think that you have to follow the rabbinical order in that's established in the country. Well,
you notice that I was looking at the stuff today in 47 here in they were following the rabbinical order. A lot of the Hebrew Israelites in the early days were a part of that. They were rabbis in the early days, coming out of the temples, and they were rabbis. There was some guy that I read up on the day.
Whitworth.
Yeah, and it was another because we always connect Noble Jew Ali, but that wasn't the basis of your all start in America. It was a couple brothers that was going around the country doing some serious teaching.
William Saunders Crowley.
Crowley. That's it. Crowley.
Yes, sir.
William Saunders. I didn't do my research for the show. I didn't get that. Yeah. William Crowley. I'm gonna do some more research on because they had pictures of everything. Yeah. And he had a good. Matter of fact, he was in William Crowley. Was it Crowley? Crowley. Mm-hmm. He was in the West. He was in California area. Mm-hmm. He was over in the East, and then he came. Did some stuff overseas. He was going back to Africa and had some bases over there coming back and forth. Before he stayed in the islands down in the south. He was real. He was big as Garvey. Okay. I think some of the time we overlook those stories.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that was an overlook. I'm being a Black history buff. That was the one that William Crowley was one to overlook. Oh, yeah. We know Garvey, but he was just as big. His movement was just as big as Garvey. To the point that when he died, it just splintered because they couldn't keep the central force together like a lot of movements. When the leader
died, they think forward.
And that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with most religious orders. They have a hierarchy. I'm like, what happens when the leader dies? When the leader dies, it gets split up and then goes off in separate ways. That's why I hate organized religion to that point. Right. And it does that sometimes because we get a good thing going, and then it stops.
Right.
There was something else that wrote. Delivery method. So back to the sisters. Okay. Back to the sisters. I hear where we at with our sisters. And I know where we at with men. My premise is a little different. Okay. My premise is the sisters respond to what. So see, I use this example. It being a biblical person. Adam failed, not Eve. And the reason why I say that is because I never remember God talking to Eve at all, if we use the Bible. There are a lot of people say that story can be conjecture. Even Islam, we say the story is conjecture. But let's use that for an example. Right. This is air and print in the Bible. All those verses, I remember him talking to Adam.
Always. That's right.
He didn't talk to Eve at all until after.
Exactly. She messed up.
Up until then,
Yeah, it's all that.
it's all him. So when he's offered whatever he's offered, if he's offered however that transpired, he got to be on point.
That's right.
And since he wasn't on point and had not been on point, she's always been getting the brunt of the blame. But my premise is if we get on point, because a lot of times women have not seen what a man look like.
That's true.
They've seen boys,
Right.
and they've been able to manipulate and play with boys.
True.
And when a man comes along, they're hard to handle. And I think sometimes a lot of your frustration is because real men get frustrated because you ain't recognized as a real man because they used to handling boys.
Exactly.
But I think if we can start making better men,
True.
then by nature, she's going to respond back to that, which is that right guidance for her. Because, I mean, I see posts online, you were talking about a brother from years ago, but I see posts online about the women that want the money and they want this and that. A little post they may making, the woman want the money and they want a man. That's not what women want. I don't think that's what sisters want. Sisters, the average sister, if a man is making enough money to take care of his families and make sure she ain't got to go out there and slave every day, she give up some of them luxuries and live a nice, comfortable life. If he's going to do that and be embodied in doing that and taking care of his family structure and treat her like the queen she is. I think we as men can get to the point of understanding that our women have been damaged just like we've been damaged. And that if we get to that point, that we can come back. But you keep beating. I'm gonna keep on my route.
Yeah,
we'll come together. You keep beating on your end, your drum.
Right.
I'm gonna keep beating on the man drum, and maybe we find some consistency in the middle. Because I've been beat up on women for calling men lazy ass black men.
Right.
I'm hard on the brothers. I mean, I've got several books. I'm hard on them because we got every opportunity right now. We live in one of the most freest countries in the world. We can't get no job. No, we might not know the job we want, but we could. I mean, I got people. Well, we got guys that can't get a job because they won't stop smoking weed for 90 days. What the hell?
They're slave to the weed.
You got children,
right?
And you can't get a job because a decent paying job because you just can't put it down for 90 days. But put it down for 90 days. Stop, get the job. Then if you want to do it on the side, do it. Go back and do what you want to do. But
right.
Now I'm hard on the men. I'm hard on the men when it comes to our responsibility. I just did a show on that the other week, but it's been the family situation where I had men that have 3 children in school and they don't like each other. Right. They have 3 children, but 3 different mothers. None of the children like each other. None of the mamas like each other. Don't nobody get along. And we talking about we the first person to cry about unity in the community. Yep. Why the community ain't unified? Because our household ain't unified. Exactly. Because we not unified ourselves as men. We don't even like each other.
True.
In a lot of situations. That's what I say. A lot of times with me and you, I'm like, I got to go back and fix that. You know, I got brother Vance, but I got to go back and fix that. Frankie, I've got a big fight with my big brother Frankie. I go back and fix that. Come down, we getting squabbles, but we got to be men enough to go back and fix those relationships. That's true. And fix that so that the women can see us fix it. Then they can, you know what? Right. I don't know why I don't like her. That man got a child by her. He got a child by her. I got to learn how to get along with her because that child is in the middle of this whole squabble we got going on. Right. So a lot of times I think, yeah, you keep eating your drum, I'm going to keep eating mine. We So when the next book coming? We're working on a book right now. What is it called?
Tentative title. Well, the title is Dedicated to the Sisters.
Okay.
And it's dedicated to the sisters because the sisters need to get their act together. It's dedicated to the sisters, but the brothers need to hear it too. There's a lot of brothers out there that's really simps.
You use that word a lot.
Yeah, I do.
What is a simp? Because other people use it. What is a simp? I be using your poetry a lot too.
Oh yeah, constantly. It's like I'm trying to reinforce what not to be. A simp is a man who submits himself to a woman to get her to submit to him. She'll do anything. He'll do anything that she wants. He is He a doormat to her, and all he wants to do is hope that she's going to do better and act better. So he doesn't put the onus on her. He don't say, look, you out of order. You tripping. You're going to get it together. You're going to get the hell out. One or two. What's it going to be? That's what the man does. If the chick ain't getting it together, you got to go. And either you can get it together and come back or not. But I'm not going to put up with this. Straight up.
I just got the comment section.
Okay.
Akan Ali, yeah. Got you, brother. Brother Kahan speaks the truth with the sword. He don't care about your feelings. Greetings, family. There's Brother Speller on the line with us. Splendid Farm, True Sabbath, okay? Dawn Kamadi, greetings, strong black brother. How you doing, Dawn? Hey, for you all that's out there with Dawn Kamadi has won the primaries. Y'all need to understand politics. The primary, it did become what he made this, the primaries, that's weighed in. We got a race ahead. Now, I couldn't vote for him in the primaries because I don't belong to the party. But in the race coming up, I'm an independent. I'm putting all heels to the ground behind brother to get him on that school board. And what y'all need to do is understand politics. We got November coming up. Ain't nobody won nothing yet. We got to get back out here and make sure we get them signs back up there on the street. That's right. And support this brother and get him on that school board. With that. I appreciate the comments on people coming online. Man, we might have to do this more often.
I think so.
I got a lot of information from you tonight. I wanted to do this because I wanted to, and I'm gonna do it with some other people too as well. I think sometimes people like yourself are able to get the platform I've had, are able to build a platform and able to work around the landmines that people put in the way. Because there's a lot of landmines they put in our way.
Yeah, really
I don't think if I had to not taken, I think my college education allowed me to do some things that most people being my mindset wouldn't have been able to do. Because I've been able to get in some doors with the degree, and then once I got in the door, they kicked me out the door.
Right.
Because the real me, usually the time I can play the game for so long.
Right.
So I can cover up and get in the door. But then once I get in the door, that real me comes out, and then I end up getting kicked out the door again. I got to start from scratch again. That's why I built David Walker Economic Education Culture Center. So next time they kick me out the door, they kick me out another door, I'm just going to come home, open the door, and go back to work. That's what we built this for. I built this for brothers like yourself, brothers like anybody else that about this car. And y'all can have a key. You can come down here, computers in the back. We got stuff of freshmen up front. You want to work on an idea, work on a project. They kick us out the door. We come down here and start something else. You know, there's some food outside and we do whatever. That's what I built. I built this place because we have a place to come when they kick us out these doors. Because they eventually don't kick all of us out doors anyway. But when they kick us out the doors, we got a home to come to, and we'll be able to do something for ourselves here. I want you to get your passport, man. I want you to go. I know them shots scared about it, but I want you to go over to Africa with me down the road. I want all y'all to go to Africa with me down the road. Take a trip over there. I'm trying to make sure I can get about 13, 14 people to go next year. Yeah. 2023, I want to take some people over to Africa and let them see. I know what you want.
Right.
I want you to see what they got.
Okay.
Yes, I believe you can live in a world what you want. And when you see that, like black people.
Right.
Yeah. You know, peaceful black people.
Mm-hmm.
No crime, no shit. I just said people think there's a lot of crime now. That's down there by the beaches. You're in the wrong section. Go to Saracuna. Go to Bansing. Right. No, don't go down to the beaches. That's where crime down there because they give you those areas of work. But go into live with the people. Get to know the people. And like I said, this lifestyle that you want is available. Eating the way you want to eat. The food that's nice, wholesome food.
Right.
There ain't no fast food joints over there. All that. You like nice, eating out the pot, children still playing in the dirt.
Yeah, right. And they should. It's supposed to be.
Running around with the goats. You know, I'm loving it. You know, I'm like, I love it over there. So we'll get back. We'll do this again another week. Coming up. I will get schedule another day. I think everybody enjoyed itself. I see the comments online. How you doing, Vance? 7 o'clock. Vance, we're gonna get on time. 7 o'clock. We was talking about you too, man. So you must have heard we was talking about you came on live. But yeah, I'm looking at some of the comments people had. Let's try to get this together again. Like I said, I just wanted people to know Renegade Cherokee.
Right.
That there's another side. You just ain't no angry man with a machete, even though you act like it half the time. But you really just ain't man running around just getting about head on.
Nah, not at all.
Yeah, you got the other side. And the reason why I'm able to talk to you. A lot of times we just gotta get to know people. Man.
That's it.
And talk to the brother and see why he really feel. And if that's the start to he feel, he got the right to that. Exactly. I'm not gonna disagree. I argue with anything you got. Yeah. On the flip side, I got my side. Then we come together, link them, come into a mutual understanding, or we may not come into a mutual understanding, but at the end of the day, we still family.
That's right.
At the end of the day, we still family.
And
family gotta unite. Like I said the other day, the conscious got to unite, else we become unconscious.
100%.
If the conscious don't stay united, we become unconscious. So that's a wrap tonight, family.
Power to the people.
Power, peace and blessings. As you know, brother, no covers. Second cousin of your mother, third cousin of your father is all family. Peace and blessings. We out. In that street.